Hey, what's up, everybody, or anyone that may see this? This is my first ever vlogging video, and it might be my last, but I just had something that I wanted to share. My name is Scott. I'm an FAA Part 107 certified drone pilot living near Atlanta, Georgia. I'm also a video production professional and have been working on all levels of production for about 20 years. So I've seen a lot of different things. I also feel like I kind of know what I'm doing from a video standpoint. You're probably critiquing my vlogging setup right now because of that, and you might be right, but when you're one-man banding these vlogging setups, you kind of just get it going and try to make it look okay. That's not the point of this. I want to talk about the Mavic Pro 1. That is my preferred drone. It's the drone I run right now. Obviously, we live in a world with the Mavic Pro 2 Zoom and the Mavic 2 Pro. Wait, the Mavic 2 Zoom and the Mavic 2 Pro. Yeah, that's it. Those are great drones from DJI. I happen to have a Mavic Pro 1. If you have one, you probably know it's a great bird. I want to talk a little bit about the camera on the Mavic Pro 1 and something that I kind of stumbled upon settings wise that has given me a quality that I didn't know was quite available. So let's backtrack about 6 months ago. I've had my Mavic Pro actually about 2 years now, and we all know it's not the greatest camera. The sensor is only so big, doesn't have mechanical shutters or mechanical apertures or anything like that. But we also all know about this DJI noise reduction algorithm thing that produces the watercolor effect. We've all been affected by this. You can have a great part of your image and then a muddy, watercolory goo where the trees are, that sort of thing. So I really started to get tired of this. I still loved my Mavic Pro, but I was getting really tired of that look, and I was getting tired of there seemingly being no solution to it other than super processor intensive noise reduction software or over sharpening your picture profile so that the watercolor effect, the noise algorithm never happened. But then you were left with just crunchy footage. It could still look good, but man, that over sharpening is not cool. And for a while, I really felt like I had been able to achieve really good results with my Mavic Pro. And then I really started to notice the watercolor more and more. I'd been shooting with it for a while. I don't know if it was a software update that did it, but I just really started to get disappointed. So I started to experiment a little bit. I was experimenting with the sharpness settings. You guys know how that goes. I don't have to explain that to you. If you sharpen it a little more, the noise reduction algorithm goes away, but your footage looks really crunchy. If you don't sharpen enough, you get muddy, watercolory, especially in foliage and trees and leaves and whatnot. I was out with my buddy one day who owns a Spark, and I was flying. I was with him. We were flying, and he texted me some of his footage afterwards. And it looked really good. And I was like, how does he have a Spark that only shoots at 1080p? I'm shooting 4K DCI on my Mavic Pro, and his looks better, bar none, hands down. And I'm the pro. I'm the video professional. Why does his look better? And I talked to him about it, and one of the things he was talking about, as you probably know, is how little you can manually control the Spark settings. The Spark camera is a largely automatic device. You shoot on pretty much auto, not everything, but there's not much you can manipulate. I think you can manipulate the ISO maybe, but not the shutter speed. Just not as many controls. So I was thinking about it, and I said, and this is going to sound like blasphemy, I know. I said, why don't I try the auto controls on the Mavic? If nothing else, it'll mean I don't have to think as much when I'm flying around shooting for fun, you know, not paid work. So I did that. And I was kind of shocked at the results I got back. In auto mode, again, you're going to think this is crazy and you're going to kill me in the comments, I'm sure, and don't worry because I probably won't read them anyway. It looks better. Focus is better. There's much less, if hardly any watercolor effect. I'm not having to over sharpen the picture profile. It just looks better. So I'm going to show you some samples of stuff I shot before I started using these automatic settings and after. And I think the proof is in the pudding. So one thing that's important to know is I'm not shooting on full automatic. I am still manually exposing that image, but I'm doing so just using the EV meter, the little slider there, or the little clicker that you can click, to raise or lower your exposure. And I'm doing it sometimes using the exposure tool that you can select in the DJI readout. I'm being careful about that, and in that way I am manually exposing, but shutter speed, I'm leaving up to the computer. ISO, I'm leaving up to the computer. Now what I am doing is making sure that I use an ND filter that's usually 4, sometimes 8, but 4 will almost always do it. And it's enough to keep my ISO at 100 and to keep my shutter speed, say, below 300. Yes, I know, if you want realistic motion blur, it should be 1 over your frame rate. I do know that. And if the trade-off is no watercolor effect, but maybe some staccato motion, I will take that all day long. So let's take one more look at sort of before and after of this. All right, so call me crazy. I think it's better in auto. My suspicion is that on the Mavic Pro 1, being a first generation product, DJI made a camera that can shoot 4K, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good, relatively speaking. My feeling is that they included a bunch of manual controls that probably aren't fully baked, as evidenced by the fact that on the Spark, they didn't include a lot of manual control. And the Spark imagery looks pretty good. I will tell you, my color style is on D-Cinelike. D-Log, no. I'm a video professional, and I gotta tell you, DJI's D-Log is just not really doing it. I think it's something they put in to make it seem very manual, but you don't want to do D-Log. I digress. My custom profile is a 0 sharpening, a 0 saturation, and I think a -1 contrast. My sharpening is absolutely 0 though. So yeah, I'm Scott. Might be the only vlog I ever make, but I thought this was good information to know, particularly if you have a Mavic 1.